today I'm going to show you how to make dolma. Dolma is a traditional Armenian Mediterranean dish that I grew up eating, and it's basically stuffed vegetables with meat and rice. And I also have two sauces that go along with it. One is a garlic yogurt sauce, sautéed, and the other one is sautéed, which is sautéed onions. Okay, so before we go over the ingredients of what we're going to use to make our dolma, we're going to have a quick translation lesson on the terminology I'm going to be using on making our dish today. So number one, stuffed vegetables, which is the dolma. Okay? Dolma, stuffed vegetables. So if you hear me saying dolma, that's what it is, stuffed vegetables. Number two, garlic yogurt sauce. Us Armenians like to call it sautéed. Got it? Sautéed. And number three is the sautéed onions, and we call that sautéed. So there you have it. Little translation lesson for you. Now we're going to go over the ingredients that go in the dolma. Dolma consists of two main components. Number one, the vegetables, and number two, the meat stuffing. So for the vegetables today, I have 2 medium eggplants, 5 medium tomatoes, and a very large red bell pepper. And what I'm going to do later is hollow them out so we can stuff the meat mixture into it. For the meat mixture that we're going to stuff into our vegetables, we have 1 pound of beef, about 3 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley, about 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped purple basil, about 1.5 tablespoons of fresh chopped dill, and about 6 sprigs of thyme. We're also going to use the pulp of the tomatoes that we hollow out. We're going to puree that and put that in there. We're going to use about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, half a cup of calrose rice or any short grain rice, 2 tablespoons of pepper paste, and a chopped onion. And for the seasonings, we're going to use 1.5 teaspoons of salt, another teaspoon of pepper, and another teaspoon of paprika. So I've gone ahead and hollowed out all my vegetables. So I cut the top of the tomato off and hollowed it out with a spoon. I've cut the eggplants in half and hollowed out the sides, cut it with a knife, and then hollowed it out with a spoon. I have a slice in the middle to help it stay in place in the pan. And then for the red bell pepper, I just cut the top off and took out all the pulp from inside. And here's the juice from the tomato. I'm going to puree this so I can use most of it in the meat mixture and then 4 tablespoons of it in the sautéed onions. Now that I have my vegetables ready to go, I'm going to prepare my meat mixture. In the bowl I have my chopped up onion. I'm going to place the 1 pound of beef in here. I am going to add the 2 tablespoons of red pepper paste. This is actually really spicy. I have my chopped up herbs. I'm going to put in here. I also have my rice, my garlic, and my tomato sauce. I'm going to add my fresh ground pepper, my salt. The best way to mix up our meat is just wash your hands really well and just use your hands. So I've mixed up my meat mixture and I'm going to go ahead and start stuffing, which is super easy. You just go ahead and take a spoon and fill it up. So this is what it looks like with my vegetables in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Pour a cup of water on here. As soon as the water starts bubbling, I'm going to put it on low and cover it, and the steam will cook it. And it's going to cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now that we have our dolma cooking, we can go ahead and get started on the sautéed, which is the garlic yogurt sauce, and the sautéed, the onion sautéed. The ingredients that go into sautéed or garlic yogurt are 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped mint or 1 tablespoon of dry mint, 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, 2 cups of plain tart yogurt, and half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and mix the ingredients for the sautéed. I've chopped up my garlic and my mint. So the sautéed is like the perfect complement to dolma. It adds a garlicky creaminess flavor to the dolma that just works amazing together, and it makes the dolma 1,000 times better. And that's it. I am done with my sautéed yogurt garlic sauce. I'm going to cover it, stick it in the fridge, and begin my sautéed, the sautéed onions. For the sautéed or sautéed onions, we're going to need the following ingredients. 1 tablespoon of the red pepper paste, 4 tablespoons of the pureed tomato pulp, 1 chopped onion, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of dry dill, and half a teaspoon of fresh ground pepper. For the sautéed onions, I'm going to go ahead and turn my pan on. I have a small saucepan here. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and my onions. And I've cut the onions into big square chunks. Now that my onions are translucent, they've been sweating for about 5 minutes, I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. So here is our tomato sauce. I'm going to add a tablespoon of pepper paste, my salt, add some dill, paprika, and some fresh pepper. And that is it for this sauce. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and let it cook on medium heat for another 5 minutes. And then I'll cover it and just let it sit there until we're ready to eat. The sautéed is going to add a delicious, zesty, and spicy flavor to our meal. So all the 3 components, the sautéed, the dolma, and the sautéed, they're all going to come together, they complement each other really well, and they're going to create a delicious Armenian dish. Here it is, my plated dolma. So I have my tomatoes, my eggplant, my pepper, and of course my sautéed and sautéed. I got some warm pita over here, I got some wine, and I am ready to eat.